Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca, and this is the story of how my life fell apart and then came back together stronger than I ever could have imagined. 3 months ago, I was planning the perfect surprise for my husband, Tom. It was my 27th birthday, and I gathered 20 of our closest friends for what I thought would be the happiest announcement of our lives. I had the positive pregnancy test in my purse, a tiny pair of shoes ready to be revealed, and my heart was just overflowing with hope. Just as I was about to share our news, Tom stepped forward. For a second, I thought he was planning a surprise of his own. He was, but not the kind I wanted. He pulled out a piece of paper, handed it to me, and announced to the entire room that our relationship was over. The note was short and icy. It said, "You're useless. I deserve better." Then he repeated it, loud enough for everyone to hear, saying I was holding him back and he needed someone who actually brought value to his life. He just turned and walked out, leaving me pregnant, humiliated, and utterly alone in the middle of my own ruined birthday party. For a few days, I was just numb, paralyzed by shock. But then, the cold, calculated cruelty of it all started to sink in. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment breakup. This was a performance. It was planned humiliation. That realization turned my sadness into a cold, focused rage. I started digging into our finances, our phone records, anything I could find. And what I uncovered was shocking. Tom had been living a complete double life. He had racked up over $15,000 in credit card debt on expensive dinners, lavish hotels, and jewelry for someone named M. A little more searching revealed that M was Maya, a young, ambitious woman he worked with. The receipts for their dates matched the lifestyle he'd always told me we couldn't afford. He was funding his affair with debt while telling me we had to save every penny. But the final, sickening twist? I realized Maya had been at my birthday party. She was a friend of a friend, and she had stood there, talking to me, knowing she was sleeping with my husband. It was time for him to face the consequences. I texted him, asking to meet at a neutral cafe to return his things. He arrived looking smug and confident, ready to make his clean getaway. He had no idea I was about to drop a financial and legal bombshell on his new life. When we sat down, I didn't say a word at first. I just calmly placed a folder on the table between us. Inside was everything. The credit card statements showing the $15,000 debt, the phone records, the hotel receipts. I watched his face go from confident to pale white as he scanned the documents. I finally broke the silence. "Let's talk about M, Tom, Maya Chen. It seems you've been financing your ambitious new life with her by running up quite a tab." I let that sink in. "And by the way, I'm keeping the apartment. The lease is in my name, and since I've been paying most of the rent anyway, that shouldn't be a problem for you." He started stammering, trying to come up with some excuse. But I wasn't finished. I leaned in and delivered the final blow. "There's one more thing you should know, Tom. Right before you called me useless and walked out on my birthday, I was about to announce that I'm 6 weeks pregnant." His face went from pale to gray. The reality hit him like a truck. He wasn't walking away debt-free to a better life. He was walking into a mountain of debt, with an immediate legal obligation for child support on top of it. I told him my lawyer would be in touch, and that he had until Sunday to get his few remaining things out of my apartment. And my life. The real revenge wasn't that confrontation. It was what happened next. My lawyer served him with paternity and child support papers. When Maya found out about the baby, the massive debt, and the fact that he'd been living with me when they first met, she kicked him out within a week. His grand plan for an upgrade completely imploded, leaving him with nothing but debt and a monthly bill that would follow him for the next 18 years. As for me, I poured all my energy into my career and got a promotion with a remote work arrangement. I built a stable, happy life for myself and my daughter, Emma. A couple of years later, I met David, a wonderful, supportive man who saw Emma not as a complication, but as a blessing. He stepped up in every way, and he is now legally her father through adoption. Tom became nothing more than an automated monthly bank transfer. The money he was legally forced to pay went straight into a college fund for Emma. The man who abandoned me to find a better life ended up unknowingly paying for his daughter's education, while another man became her real father through daily acts of love and commitment. The ultimate lesson here is that the greatest revenge is building a life so full of genuine love and success that the person who betrayed you becomes completely irrelevant. All that child support money funded Emma's entire college tuition. We never heard from her biological father again. Emma, who is now a wonderful young woman, says it best. I got the better deal. My dad, David, actually shows up. And she's right, I won. Thanks for listening to my story. Remember to subscribe for more.